Hi guys! So this is just a really quick video to answer a question that one of you asked me recently over Instagram DM, and that is the difference between different types of irony. I think a lot of people tend to think of sarcasm when they think of irony, and that is indeed one type of irony, but that's what we call verbal irony, right? So that's saying the opposite of what you mean. And so ultimately irony has to do with the reversal of expectations. That is very much the essence of irony. And in general, there are three main types of irony to look out for whenever you are doing your literary analysis. So as we mentioned, there's verbal irony, but equally there is situational irony and also dramatic irony. When it comes to dramatic irony, you tend to see it in plays or novels. So anything that has a narrative would usually be where you can find dramatic irony. And that's because dramatic irony is ultimately about what the audience or the reader knows that the character doesn't, right? So say, for example, when Romeo and Juliet meet for the first time, we already know as audiences that they will fall in love, but also they will die at the end tragically, because we know that from the very beginning, from the prologue, the chorus in the prologue at the very start of the play. So that's a great example of dramatic irony. So the third type of irony is situational irony. And so actually we don't only find situational irony in literary texts. We tend to also find it in life in general. So for example, if someone who is super healthy, wakes up at 6 a.m. every day, goes for a run, happens also to be the first person who catches a cold, that's actually an example of situational irony, because we don't expect the healthiest person to be the first person to actually fall ill. So there you go. That's an example of situational irony, because it completely reverses your expectation of things. But in literature, it tends to pop up everywhere, actually. Say, for example, if you have a character who happens to be very morally upright on the outside, for example, like Dr. Jekyll, but actually, happens to be the most evil, kind of most morally degraded, debauched person in his private life. With the exposure of that, it is an example of irony, because again, it reverses our expectation of how the character should behave. We tend to often find examples of irony when there's some sort of appearance versus reality theme going on in a text. So there you have it, guys. That's really three types of irony. Verbal irony, which is essentially sarcasm; dramatic irony, which is essentially when the audience or the reader knows something that the characters don't already know. And then finally, you have situational irony, which is very much just kind of the opposite of expectations. Okay, so I hope this really does clarify irony for you guys, because irony is everywhere in literature and in life, and you do really well to just know how to analyze and how to spot irony in texts. Okay, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Also, be on the lookout for another full-length video that I'll be posting by the end of this week. Okay, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.